Joker here. I know it's been a while. I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things and just getting back into schedule, seeing how things progress. I'm doing a whole lot better finally. Still healing when it comes to some things, but I'm a whole lot better than how I was a while ago, especially since there was a moment where I couldn't talk due to um, not feeling well for my throat and it being bad enough that like I couldn't talk without there being pain. So that was fun. Um, let's see if we have anyone here. This is a bit of a chaos, but it's me. There's always chaos. Okay, I guess nobody's here yet. Um, hmm. Getting some water. Because we always gotta stay hydrated. Um, let me see. I'm gonna check on my. Wait, what phone did I have? Oh, we can check on the Android real quick. Make sure everything's going fine. Come on. Fuck this one. Ah, gonna leave the iPhone charging, but whatever. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. While I wait on people to show up. Oh, up to wish list. Oh, cool. Okay, so I guess I'm fine. Let's see. Okay, so maybe it'll be best if I. Okay, I'll leave you here. Maybe if I move that a bit more here. Sorry, I'm a little bit to see how things will work because my microphone showed up as an option, like my NT, I forget what type of brand it is, but the microphone that I constantly use when I used to use more the PC and just for recording things in general showed up in the list on StreamYard when I was setting things up. So I thought, oh, that's cool. It usually never shows up in the list of supported devices. So I was like, you know what? Let's click it. Let's see how things go, how the show progresses. Let me check something. Oh, come on. Yeah, yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay, yeah, that seems a little bit better. No, there we go. I hit the wrong thing. on the phone. J for clicking things that we don't mean to click. Oh, I should have lowered voiceover too. Oh wow, forgot to do that. And the stop talking. Yay! Oh, come on, voiceover. Okay, there we go. Don't you just love it when tech doesn't want to work? Okay, let's see. Come on. Okay, that seems like good volume. Oh, I wanted to try and have music, but what I wanted didn't work. Ooh, maybe I can. Hold on, I know what I can do. Entertainment. I'm gonna go to Spotify. Yeah, I think this could work. Oh, come on, where is it? Oh, here we go. And then I'm gonna put it. No, let's leave you here, and hopefully, if I check on the other phone, if things want to work, it'll be heard on the stream. Oh, come on. Okay, okay, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just trying to check things real quick. Make sure everything's working like I want it. What the heck is this? Come on. I think would show up here. What the? What is this doing? Okay, now you show me. No, it's not that one. Oh, come on. Yay for frustrations when trying to check out things. Oh, that's this one. Here we go. Okay, I guess the music thing's not gonna work unless I... Let me see. If I leave it around here... Oh my god. I am so professional! Okay, maybe there it'll be picked up? Let me see. I'll check comments in a bit, guys. Sorry. I'm all over the place. Okay, let me see. Oh my god. Nope, okay. I thought this would work, but seems like it's not. So it's okay. It's okay. Oh my god, everything falls. I'm so professional. Okay, I'm gonna leave that phone there. I'm so professional, guys. Oh, hello, Ar Armadigian? Yeah, Armadigian time. Hello, welcome. Thank you for, I guess, watching me trying to just set up things and seeing if something would work, whether it would not work. Yes, the struggles of voiceover. Um, well then if that wasn't going to work, I guess I can put one of the usual StreamYard little things. Hold on. No, not what I want. Oh my god, what is this doing? Come on. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to brand. And then... There we go. Okay, there we go. I know this one will definitely be heard, and it'll show up on the stream. I need to figure out how do you add music from other sources. That'll be a fun project to figure out for next time. Okay, then I go back to comments. Here we go. I'm gonna make sure that StreamYard is showing me the people. Thank you. There's a bunch of people. StreamYard, what? Okay, let me go back and check. Okay. I wanted to add music, but like something else. So on Spotify, I have a a Zelda playlist that is like free in terms of copyright, uh, which means it would be safe for me to play on a stream. But I couldn't figure out how to like actually add it on stream in the iPad. So then I thought, oh, maybe I could have it on the, maybe on the phone, but then the stream would pick it up. But I don't know if maybe like because of the my mic and then the headphones, I don't know. It just wasn't being picked up at all, and it just what I wanted, I guess, didn't work. Um, that was kind of what I wanted to try and do. Okay, let's see. I'm a digital time says, gotta love when you wait. Gotta love when you have to set up after the setup. Yes, especially when you're blind, and even though I've been doing YouTube now for it's now 2 years. Yeah, I started 2 years ago. I still haven't gotten the hang of certain things, especially because when I started, I was only uploading videos, and it wasn't until a bit later that I got into making streams, or I guess streaming on YouTube, a better term. So yeah, and things would be better on what I have if I could use keyboard shortcuts like you can on a PC. But I guess since I have an iPad, there are still things that they're figuring out, like fun. Sorry, I don't know if that got picked up in the stream. If it did, cool, you guys got my weather report if it did. I forgot to mute my A-lady. I'll do better for next time. But as I was saying, like, it'll be a lot better if I had some keyboard shortcuts, but I guess since the iPad, and it's not until now where they began doing more of what they said they have, which is to allow third-party microphones to work with Safari on StreamYard, because I don't know why I can't have Chrome on my iPad. Like, for streams, I've tried. I've installed Google Chrome at some point to try and just have streams, but I don't know why they just don't seem to work. I'll have to try and figure out what to deal with that, or why that's the case. Let's see. The John Time says, hey, you're doing the best you can. Aw, thank you. I know, I try. It's just, listen, I'm too hard on myself sometimes, and I am my worst critic. So I can't help a bit too hard on myself sometimes. So yeah, let's see. Armadillion Time says, you're doing better than I could. Aw, you're so sweet. We'll see. I don't know. At least I have chaotic energy, because I'm always all over the place, and I always have an issue. So Yeah, I mean, I do my best. Digion Time says, I don't know how to do that music stuff. Sorry. No, don't apologize. It's just me trying to figure it out and either looking up on Google or asking other people that may know better than me. It's probably a whole lot easier if I had the PC. It's just unfortunately my PC is showing its age. It likes to give me issues and problems, even though it still works. Maybe one day I'll try, because I know it would probably be a whole lot easier to just download it, make it into a file, and then probably have it there. But we'll see. Like I said, my PC, it's showing its age, and at the moment I can't buy a new PC. Eventually I'm going to be able to, but I don't know when that's going to be. That's why I'm grateful that I can still do like just stream and content creation with the equipment that I have so far. And now I can use my microphone! Yay! Because I really like this microphone. Although I was still using it sometimes, as though now it's has its own little section that I can click and properly being used, instead of what I was doing earlier, which was just plugging it in and tricking the iPad. But yeah, I gotta get back into picking an anime that I've watched before to review, but haven't been in a mood to like watch anime for reviewing. I've just been in a mood to watch for just enjoying and just binge in the moment. But there's one that I've been getting into, well, through kind of old, but the animation is pretty good so far. And because it's an older one that has more than just 12 or 13 episodes, and it has a lot of content. It's called Shakugan no Chana. It's really good. And so far I've been liking it. I may sit down one day and just do a proper review. But it's basically like our world, but you're supernatural beings and this other world and sort of demons or other deities. I don't know what's the best way to explain it, but it's an interesting watch. There's romance, although the romance part takes its time getting there. And there's a love triangle, there's drama, and the love triangle at some point turns into what could be like a love square, I guess, because like another girl comes into play. I don't know, it's weird. Another one that I kind of want to share, but the problem is that I struggle so much with names, because this one, instead of being centered in Japan, it's one from Korea, and my brother's the one that kind of got me into it. It's called Solo Leveling. It's really good. Part 1 ended, gosh, like a bit ago. It was one that was airing this year earlier. I think it was part of the spring season? It was either winter or like the spring season. I don't remember which, but it was one of those seasons. Um, and now it's returning later in the fall. We're getting part 2, and there's a lot of content with that one, with the manhwa, or the Korean manga, however you want to call it. And then there's also a light novel adaptation, which I've been getting into, and it's been letting me finally read the series, and it's been really fun. I've gotten some people like spreading the word to like watch it because it's a good one. Basically, it's weak. Protagonist is just the weakest person ever in the whole world because you have people with powers who awaken abilities, and not to spoil too much because it's a good series, something happens to him and then he awakens with the ability to be able to level up his powers, essentially becoming one of the world's strongest and most powerful beings. Like nobody can stop him, essentially. And it's a great watch. There's a lot of action, and I love it. It's amazing, and it's a bit different than the usual anime we get, even though I think it was a Japanese studio that animated it. They left everything very close to the I can't talk. Source material. So, a lot of the areas and places that get referenced is definitely in South Korea, especially Seoul. I think it's the city that it takes place in. A lot of the characters obviously have Korean names. I can't really pronounce all of them, and there's way too many characters, to be honest. But it's a good watch. I think everybody should watch it. Everybody should give it a try. It's amazing. Oh god. Oh, another one of the fall that I'm looking forward to is Blue Actresses got a season 3. And that was definitely from the winter lineup. And I think it was winter. I'm forgetting which, but it was this year. And I know later on, like later in the year, I think it's going to be for around like October, I think it's for some people were saying, but I can't confirm because I'm not sure. I haven't gone to look at anything official. I've just seen some people reference like links to official sources saying that a part 2 that is going to be continuing the story of that is going to be coming out later this year, and I am so happy because I know it's not one of the most popular series out there, but it's my favorite series. I love it so much. Rino Kumura is my waifu. I don't care, even though he's a guy. He's my waifu. Because I don't know, he kind of acts like a wife sometimes, but it's an amazing show, and I just love it. And I'm so happy that we're getting more of the anime because a lot of stuff in the manga ends up happening and has happened. And I just think it's a great show that deserves more seasons, and at least this time we're not left years in between of like seasons, which I love that. Some people were talking about that. They were like, oh guys, at least we don't have to wait like 7 more years for this. And some people joking were like, yeah, we don't have to wait 10 more years for this now. And I was like, oh my god. But then as I looked at it, I'm like, oh, they're kind of not wrong looking at when each season came out. Because like the first one originally, I think it came out in like 2011. It was like 2010 or 2011, somewhere around there. And I think it was around that same year or a year later there was an OVA special and then a movie, and then we didn't get anything in terms of the anime until 2017. And then, you know, it's not until 2024 that, like, we got season 3, so that's why people were joking with times and being like, well, at least we don't have to wait X amount of years for another season, and I was like, oh my god. Oh, let me see. Let me make sure. Okay, let me see. I hate to stream here sometimes. Huh. Why are you not showing me the other comments? Okay, here we go. Medigian Time says, at the end of the day, wait. At the end of the day, people will come here to see you. At the end of the day, people will come here to see you. You'll get the music going. No worries. Yeah, I wanted to try and have something different that isn't the usual stream, you know, couple of basic that like stream gives you that lets you play easily on already on its like little library thing that it has here. I want something different, but you're right. At some point I'll figure it out, and I know people come here for me in craziness and just hear me ramble and just I don't even know anymore, but I know people will come for me and whatever it is I do. Magian Time says I have Fusion on my PC and that helps a lot. Yeah, eventually I'll get into some programs and stuff. It's just my current PC, which is an old laptop that I bought. I don't remember if it was in 2014 or 2015. It was one of those 2 years, somewhere around that time frame. It can support certain things, but like it has its limits because I didn't buy it thinking that I would end up going into doing content creation, streaming, all that lovely stuff. I mainly got it because I wanted to work on my typing because I was learning how to type without looking at the keyboard at the time. And so I wanted to continue the practice, and I just wanted something that would allow me to write. And, you know, just the usual stuff. Browse internet, YouTube. I just wanted very basic stuff. And so I bought a PC without really looking into it. And then I decided, oh, I want to do content creation. I want to get into this, and then just realizing, oh, I need better equipment. So, and you know, you learn as you go on. Hi, Willie Rosado. It's good to see you. I don't know why I had to get out of the comment section to see the rest of the comments. I don't know, but yeah. Good to see you. Let me see. Blind Toast says, Joe, hair needs to be brushed a little more. I'm not falling for that anymore, sir. I know my hair is fine. I washed it this morning. So nice and good. I needed the wash. But it's so nice and good. Okay, he's just saying hello to people. Willie Rosado says, it's my first live with you. Oh my god, thank you! Thank you for catching me live for the first time. I hope you're enjoying the show. And I'm so glad to have you. I just, if people come, keep people come, and if then they see the replay, that's fine. But, oh, sorry, felt something in the eye. But no, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and you know you've been enjoying the channel or my content, and just what I have to offer, and you know, just tonight is just a chill night, just talking with you guys, to get me back into the flow of things, because like I had said in a previous stream, and then on like community posts, I had an accident, then I was feeling sick, so I've been a little bit slow on what I upload, but I hope to getting back into the flow of things. Let me see. Tough Bayfon says, I love OMG, I love Solo Leveling so much. I can't stop rewatching episode 6. Dude, that whole series, I think I'm just gonna rewatch it at some point again. And just again, because all of those episodes, like 6 was amazing. The last 2 episodes, like 11 and 12, those were great. There's just so much greatness in that show, and the talent of that VA. Because I was watching an interview with him, and then different shorts that were explaining that some people thought that they changed voices for him, and they had like 2 different actors for pre Jinwoo and then later Jinwoo, and he was kind of like, no, that was him the whole time. He just was able to change the tone of his voice and the range for like the later episodes, especially once he starts getting more into his powers, and just as the progression of him changing to the point that people thought that there were like 2 different actors. There was a scene where apparently he heard himself doing it, and I was like, damn, that's dedication. So I really can't wait for part 2, dude. It's insane. And then I gotta get through the light novels. I'm almost done. But they're just so good. People just need to watch and rewatch it because it's so good. Tough Bayfon says, I also love Alex Lee. the English the English dub actor for the character. He's an amazing voice actor. Oh no, yeah. Thank you for reminding me of the name. Um, there are some actors that I can recall names and others no, but yes, Alex Lee. Yes, he's an amazing actor. And I'm currently watching the simulcast of the dub of the Misfit of Demon King Academy, and he does the protagonist on that one too. And I've been loving his performance in that show too, and probably don't know when, but eventually at some point we'll probably be having the dub of the Hashira arc on Demon Slayer that's currently airing. So we'll probably have him back as Zenitsu, and just hearing him doing that performance once again, which even though Zenitsu is not one of my favorite characters in that show, I will admit that his performance and the fact that he can go from that type of voice and just screaming the way that he does to those low ranges and those like hard battle cries, like screaming that he does for Anos and Jinwoo, it's amazing. Like, it shows his talent. Okay, let me make sure all the comments. Here. Hold on. Top Bayfont says, it reminds me how long they took to come out with new seasons of Attack on Titan. Oh my god, yes! Oh god, I forgot that was another one! God, that was another one that took forever. Yeah, that was a ride. That I mean that one had some great moments, but I don't know. There was just some things later on that I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about it. But yeah, it took them forever, especially for the final season, because there was like final season part 1, final season part 2, final season part 3, and I was just like, okay, when is this gonna end? Blind Toe says, I'm currently in volume 6 of the books. Yeah, I know. I haven't had, like, time to really, like, sit down and finish reading them. Plus, I want to take my time, and I know it's one of those books that I just can't have in background while I'm doing other things, and then I'm just gonna get distracted and I'm gonna have to rewind the book. So I like to give it time and read it when I can have my full attention on it and not be as distracted. So I haven't picked it up from where I last left off, which is final chapter of like volume 5, but I'll get to volume 6 eventually, and then buy the last 2 books, which that's gonna be awesome. Top Bay Font says, Blind Toes, if you're talking... Blind Toes, if you're talking about solo leveling, I finished the series... Wait, god damn it, I can't talk, I can't read! Blind Toes, if you're talking about solo leveling, I finished the series on Audible. The audiobooks were pretty good. Yeah, they are really good. I just like I had mentioned to you where you could find them, I kind of told him where you could read them, because I stumbled into more audiobooks. I remember telling him, I think it was last year, that I noticed that 2 of the light novel series from, I believe, Yen Press it is, had audiobooks, but I believe at the moment it was only Overlord and Sword Art Online. So it didn't really seem, you know, too much hype, but I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I think at some point I checked more, and then I was like, oh look, they're adding more series. And then I saw Solo Leveling, and I was like, wait, there's a light novel adaptation? And so then I was like, oh, we need to read this. And since I haven't found like an easy way to read manga, even though people keep telling me, you know, that they're reading it with the PDF files and stuff, but I still haven't really found any of the PDF files that people tell me that are out there to be able to read manga with a screen reader and not struggle as much. But because I haven't found them and I've tried, I'm killing my eyes with some of them to read them. But if I can have a way that I'm not killing my eyes, then I will, you know, I will have it that way. And if I see that there's an easier way for others in the community that also love anime to get into some of the series, I'm on it. I'm obviously gonna spread the word, because the more that see that people want this, the more we're gonna have. And I mean, if we can't have Braille manga when it gets published into other languages, then maybe we can make things into audio, like audio form. Lee Rosado says, how you doing? I'm doing great, thank you for asking. I did, like, I guess, a little bit of, like, light exercise later, just things I have to do for the muscles of my back and my neck, so it can heal, which that's probably gonna take forever, but we shall see. But other than that, I'm doing great. Everything's fine. I'm alive. How are you doing? Top Bay Font says, your hair looks good to me. LOL. Thank you. I'm glad it does look good to you. I I love that the totally blind men in the chat are giving me tips on my hair. This is beautiful. Oliver Sato says PS5 now has Discord for chats and calls. Ooh, I saw something about that. Was it last night? I think it was last night. It was sometime this week. I read a little bit about it, but since I don't have a PS5, I was like, oh, that's cool. Should probably tell my brother about it because he does use Discord on his PS. I think he has a 5. I'm forgetting if it's a 4 or a 5 what he has, but I know he plays a lot of games and he uses his Discord account with it, but that's cool. And I think it is as long as you have it connected or like the account to it. Like you don't necessarily need to have like the app to go into it, of what I understand. I may read more into it just out of curiosity, but yeah, I just wish the app wouldn't give us so many problems sometimes. Tough Bayfont says, yeah, I saw the same shorts about Alex Lee. It just shows how good of a voice actor he is. Yeah, he's very talented and he's amazing. I was watching him on, I forgot the name of the podcast, but I know it was a podcast where he explains how he got into voice acting, and man, that was a story. It's insane, like how he goes into detail of what he did and how he got into it. And then he also went a little bit into detail explaining that when he came to America, how he barely knew any English and he only knew like 3 words in English, but then seeing him communicating so fluently and good in the podcast, and then to a point of just having a voice acting career, I was like, damn, dude, you did really good for yourself. I mean, when you came like as a kid and then like now, like damn, that's really good. Off Bayfont says, I don't know if you've seen it. But it was in a podcast called Trash Taste. He goes into his backstory of how he got into voice acting. Oh, yes, thank you. That's the one. Yeah, Trash Taste. Yep. He goes into basically his story of how he came to America, his life in America, and his journey basically, and then how he got into voice acting. It was a fascinating watch. Yeah, people should definitely see it because it's pretty interesting. And then him saying some of the roles he's done and how apparently the one that he got for Rent a Girlfriend, I think is the name of the anime, he initially wasn't even trying to get that role because apparently he had read the manga, so like he knows some stuff that I didn't even know what they were referencing, because that's one I haven't really watched. And he says that he was like, oh, they probably won't consider me or I won't get it, so he was kind of like, oh, I'll bum it, whatever. And then he says that he was surprised when he got it, so it's really interesting sometimes when you see into the journey and some of these voice actors or actors, and then how they got into that, and how they got to doing roles, and then how they've been able to just continue in the industry. It's very fascinating. Let's see. Blinto says, and he's looked for Street Fighter 6 the game. Oh, I didn't know that. I need to go back into my days of looking into voice actors and seeing what roles they've done. Then again, I haven't looked at like video game roles in a while. I'll definitely look into it. I'll have to, once I get my PC, I'll have to see what games I can get into that I haven't played in so long. Other than the main ones that I want to play, which mainly is the Kingdom Hearts series, because that is my obsession. I've been obsessed with this series since I was like 13? 12 or 13, somewhere around there. Got into that series way back in summer of 2007. Never since then, I haven't been able to look back. I am obsessed. It is the one series that if I didn't have the console and a new game would come for the series, I would ask for the console just so I could play. Just so I could play the newest game. It was an obsession. I was bad. Well, I am bad because I'm still like really down bad for it. Even though I can't play it, I will go on YouTube. I will watch the cutscenes. I'll go online. I gotta read the light novels now, because that's the one thing of Kingdom Hearts that I haven't consumed yet fully. I've read the mangas. I wish there were more mangas for the other games, but there's only mangas for like 4 of the games, which is the first 4 games that came out chronologically. So the first Kingdom Hearts, Region of Memories, or Chain of Memories, because it originally came out on the Game Boy as Chain of Memories, and then they did a remaster for the PlayStation 2, I think it was, called Chain of Memories. Kingdom Hearts 2, and then Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days. But the light novels, I think the light novels, there's more of them, and I don't know if they'll make more of them. I hope they make more of them, because sometimes there's lore content that doesn't get put in the game, but then they obviously put it in the light novels, and it's very interesting to learn about the characters and just see new things, or just learn new things that I didn't know, and it's reinforced my obsession. But that, and then obviously Ultimate games, because I am really Toes knows this. He likes to tease me about it. I'm really big into Ultimate games, dating sim type of games. I like romance games, and I like the taste-based games that there's, like choices that you have to do that will affect the story and the romance with the character. And a lot of times the one that I play do show pretty boys that I get to stare at the screen for hours. Lee Rosado says, I miss FL. Are you talking about Final Fantasy? No. FL. What is FL? What are you talking about? I don't know what FL is, what this stands for. Top Bay Font says, honestly, I prefer audiobooks to PDF files. The narrators sound better than the screen reader. Yes, definitely, it does. And I agree. I am just the type that if I can find it and it makes things easier, I will take whatever version in the moment. But if there's a better option, then I will definitely go for the better option. And then again, I'm kind of used to reading a lot with the screen reader because I just read a lot of fan fiction in general. And when I'm reading fan fiction, that's just in one of these websites like AO3 or Wattpad on my phone or on the iPad, and that I just use whatever like screen reader. And sorry, I've gotten so used to it that it just I don't mind. But if there was a better option, I would love to have it and just have it like, you know, read it. But yeah, and it definitely sounds better. Willie Rosado says, I'm great. Awesome! I'm glad to hear that. Here we go. I'm gonna give my right ear a break for a moment. Oh, dog. The right ear right ear break for a moment, so I'm not wearing both earbuds on my ears while I stream. Gonna have one at a time. Okay. Top Bayfon says, LOL, yeah, I share that podcast episode on Carrie's server. He had a crazy childhood, and I thought how he got into voice acting was just wild. It was. I didn't think of sharing it, but yeah, it definitely was. And just hearing him say what he did and what lengths he went to just to you know, be a voice actor, and simply because he wanted to prove to his parents that they were wrong and he could make it, which shows he had a lot of determination to make sure that he didn't have to go back home and just be like, yeah, folks were right. He was like, no, I'm gonna prove you I got this, I can do this. I'm gonna build a career out of this. You're wrong, I'm not gonna fail. Will Versado says Xbox breaks Discord chat to the point that you have to use Edge sometimes. Sounds rough. Sounds really rough. Well, I'm kind of exaggerating. Carrie keeps swearing how good Edge is, but we shall see. Eventually I will try it, and I will figure out if she has a point or if she's just saying just to say. So we'll see. Willie Rosado says, I do have Street Fighter 6 on PS4 and PS5. Okay. That's cool. I didn't know that there was a version for it for both consoles. I've been off the loop for like consoles a long time, let's just say. Because what I have is a PS3, and I can't really play that anymore because of all the profiles we have in that. When it used to be just, I think 3 profiles all we had. I know which one was mine because all I had to do was like scroll twice. Like I think it was go down twice, and mine would be like the 3rd profile. So I knew, okay, I just go down 2 times and I find it. And then it was easy to get to the game, but then more people wanted to use it and play, so we made profiles for them, and then it came to a moment where if I wanted to play in my profile, I had to have somebody sighted click on my profile, and it got tiring real quick, and so I just said whatever. I was like, okay, I'll either buy a new console, but then I got into the idea of just having games on the PC, and so I'm like, you know what, I'll just buy a PC strong enough to play games, and I will just get the games on Steam, even though Steam's not the greatest when it comes to accessibility, but once you get to have the games, it's no problem. So, and there's a lot of like mods for some games when it comes to like playing them on PC, so I know that'll be a lot easier for games in general that I want to play that I know are not the most accessible or accessible at all. Okay, let me see. Tabe Font says, I thought how he stumbled into the role of the... I love how he stumbled into voicing the main character of Rent a Girlfriend was funny because he doesn't like icky... Oh, ecchi characters. Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun part of the interview, and he admitted it that he really didn't want that role. Like, he honestly didn't even put a lot of effort into it because he wanted to like bum it. You know, like he didn't want to be castrated. He said, you know what, I have it in my resume that like I auditioned for it, whatever. And he was like, I'll probably move on and get something else. But then, hey, so he gets a call back and he's like, yeah, you got the role. And he's just like, that was the impression I got from his reaction in the podcast, that it was like, why me? I specifically did this one thing to make sure I wouldn't get the role. Why did I get the role? Was like the vibe I got. Hold on, I kind of moved. I want to check that I didn't fuck my frame. Okay, I didn't. Let's see. Oh! Blursaddle says FL means Florida. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, it's just... I wasn't really getting, like, what you meant. But okay, gotcha. Somebody currently in Florida, I don't know why you would miss it, but, that's... I'm sad to hear. Who knows, maybe eventually you'll be able to come back to the area? But... I mean, I'm sure you get the opportunity to come back. Hello, Julio Gomez. He says, "Hi, Joker. Oh, hi, Alice. My name is Julio Gomez, chatting from Houston, Texas. Sorry I'm late to the chat. Don't worry about it. I don't have a set time. I do try to limit streams. Like, if they go too long, I try them to be maybe 3 hours, depending on what I'm doing. If not, I usually do maybe 1 or 2 hours. Maybe there'll be some occasional where like maybe they go 4 hours. I did one in the past where I accidentally went 6 hours. And so I try to limit myself and check time and not go too overboard because that was a mistake that I didn't even mean to do and I didn't even realize I had done because I was having so much fun doing a bit of just voice acting. And then I want to play a game, and then next thing I know, I'm like, what time is it? Because I have a horrible just I'm horrible at keeping track of time. And I've been managing it a lot better, but back then it completely blew my mind. Like because I think that was like first sorry, first stream that I was doing myself where I had like planned it with things to do. It wasn't just me trying to check out if things would work and how it would turn out. And actually having like something really planned of like, oh, this is what we're doing today, chat. And before I knew it, just time had passed and I had been sitting on my desk for like 6 hours and I was like, I am never doing this again. So I try not to stream that long. Tape Fan says, I also love Alex Lee's story about his college days. Oh yeah, that was another really interesting one. Oh god, I could listen to that podcast all over again because it was really interesting and just hearing him talk about that and just speak on those experiences and say what he did. It was very, very fascinating. Hi, Jordan. Jordan, my heart needs the world. He says, "Hi, Joker Alice. Are you talking about Mortal Kombat or are you talking about another game? I haven't seen you live here in a while." Yeah, I guess you didn't catch my last stream when I had come back from my trip, and then I did a community post. You guys should be on the lookout for when I post those, because those are usually the way that I will let people know if I can't do things that I've scheduled, or if something happens that makes me unable to post anything or any content creation. And I had posted a bit after doing that stream that I was sick and I wasn't really able to stream because I had a bit of an infection, something with the throat, and it was just I wasn't really able to like speak at all because it hurt. Then I got to some moments where I could talk, but it would still hurt just talking for long periods of time, and so until I was fully healed from that, I couldn't really do any work that required me to use my throat. And I ended up going on a stream with Toes, Toes, Christina, and Bika for their birthday. And on that stream, I had to constantly be drinking water when I talked and continuing to drink take those like medicine candy that you can take for if you have a cough or if you have like an irritated throat, because at the moment my throat was getting better, but it was still slightly irritated. And then I was told I could take something for it, but at the time I was taking another medication for the aches and the pain that I have in terms of my muscles of the neck and the back from my fall that I had explained when I got back from my trip. I was taking medication for that. That prevented me to take the throat medication, and so I could barely talk. That's why I said, if you don't see like me in a while, and there'll probably be an update in the community post. And it kind of depends. We were talking about a couple of games. Let's see. Earlier, we mentioned Street Fighter, but if you were specifically questioning on the ramble that I just did a little bit earlier, going into manga and then light novels, then I was specifically talking about Kingdom Hearts, which is a video game series that I've been obsessed since I was 13. If that's what you were asking, that's the game I was talking about. Well, the franchise. Glurasato says the PS4 Street Fighter what? Oh, the PS4 Street Fighter was included with the PS5. Oh, PS5 digital, you can install both on system. Okay, that's cool to know. Interesting. Jordan, I can't say the rest of the name. He says, who is the guy you're talking about the podcast? He got the role that he didn't want. It's, if you don't watch anime, you won't really like get it, but it's an actor that does a lot of voice work on anime and video game. His name is Alex Lee. We were talking about a role that he has in an anime called Rent a Girlfriend, and how originally he didn't want that role, so he's the actor we're talking about. Leo Gomez says, not everybody feels sick, to be honest. I have no idea what that has to do with anything, but okay. Leo Gomez says, are you a gamer like Toes? Currently not. I used to be, but I don't have the consoles and my vision is not what it used to be when I was younger, so I took a break from it. At the moment, I just play casually just for myself to entertain myself when I'm really bored playing Ultimate games or BL games, which are basically just some games that have been translated that I found from Japan that focus mainly on romance between a main character, a lot of times female, and a bunch of guys that you can romance with whatever the story may be. And other times the BL ones are love stories between guys, like 2 guys, or a guy and multiple guys that you can choose which one you want to romance. And I only do that casually because it's just for my own entertainment when I'm bored. I want to get back into gaming, but I need to wait until I can have proper equipment, which is PC, and getting things like graphics card and all that. And I may get a Switch at one point, but I'm not thinking of getting any of the big consoles out there, unless something happens where I would need to. But at least of what I've checked, the games I want to play, most of them are on Steam now, so I don't really need to get a console. But I had to stop gaming a couple of years ago, but I just did it because it was fun. But when I was much younger, I had more vision, so it was a lot easier to play video games. Oliver Sato says, I'm going to go for now. Okay, bye. It was nice having you. I hope that we'll see you on future stream, or, just be on the lookout for any new videos or content that I put out and stuff. But it was nice having you. Jordan says, okay, that makes sense now. And also, I was looking through the chat and saw his name come up. And I'm also gonna look him up because I'm also into voice actors. Okay, that's cool. Actors are fun. I like acting. But that's nice. I like hearing about actors that do characters that I really like in anime or a show. And sometimes learning their name is interesting, because for the longest time there were some actors that I had no idea what their name was, so I would just refer to them as the actor that did so-and-so character in so-and-so show. Jordan says, I'm on Instagram, and one famous voice actress I follow is Greater Liar? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that. She played Daphne in Scooby-Doo in 2001. That's cool. That's neat, I guess. Jordan says, Gray Delisle, okay. My friend, Uh, and she does podcasts on Patreon. I can't read the rest of this message. I guess basically what you're saying is that you're glad that you have a Patreon subscription of her podcast because she describes her outfits. That's cool. That's really interesting. Everyone says she described her outfits and what she was wearing in terms of the... That's neat that you got to know what she was wearing and what her outfit was. That was very interesting. I mean, if you like knowing what type of person of media you're consuming in terms of like podcast, YouTube, if you like to know what they're wearing and they do that, I guess that's cool. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty interesting. Okay, let me see. Okay, there hasn't been any... Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if that's what you're into, kudos to you. I don't know how I feel about something like that, unless it's on a TV series or a movie. Like, I don't know. It's just a podcast or like a stream on YouTube. Again, if they're wearing something that they want to showcase and describe and they do it, more power to them, I guess. But I don't know. Ah. God damn my neck. But yeah. I don't really follow a lot of actors that been in cartoons, even though there have been some that I've known from just anime, but sometimes I've heard in other cartoons when I've had like nieces over and they've been watching stuff, or if I've been on YouTube just like watching random things and then somebody will do a compilation of an actor's roles and you'll see anime, video games, and cartoons being thrown into the mix. But I guess it depends on what you're into. I don't really watch a lot of cartoons unless I'm in the mood to go rewatch a lot of the old stuff. And sometimes it's okay. They have done some like remasters or reboots of some things, and sometimes they're okay, depending. Other times, fans may not be so happy. I recently want to get back into finishing Netflix's version of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Because I started watching it and It wasn't a bad adaptation. It's just they changed some things, and I mean, they decided to give, I guess, a better like origin to her story, and they changed a few things about her. And there are two characters who are siblings, like a brother and a sister, that in the original series, they're the ones going after her and trying to stop her and make sure that they catch her from like stealing the famous paintings and things, and sometimes even changing history from stealing the thing. And in the adaptation, well, in Netflix's adaptation, I don't know why they're working with her and they're making her seem as though she is stealing things to like stop another organization, and I was like, that seems cool, but the siblings were never on her team. What is that kind of, I don't know, kind of rubbed me a bit the wrong way, because I'm like, why are you changing things? These siblings were the ones trying to catch her. They were never on her team. So it would be cool to like finally finish it and see how that story concludes, because man, that's a classic, and one I used to watch all the time as a kid with my mom and my brother. It was amazing. Although I went to watch a couple of episodes from the old one, like rewatching it was kind of interesting hearing hearing it in English, because I sorry, water. So it was interesting hearing it in English, because I grew up just watching it in Spanish. It was even interesting hearing the song in English, because there's like a little intro that the show would always get. And I sang it so much to the point that I still remember it, but it was always in Spanish. So it would always be like, ¿Dónde en el mundo está Carmen Sandiego? Carmen Sandiego, something like that. And hearing it in my ears and like hearing it in English, I was like, oh, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? That's interesting. There's been some shows or even anime back in the day that I didn't really watch in like an English dub. I watched some of them. I watched the Spanish dub, and then there are some where I did watch an English dub, but then there were some episodes that I watched in Spanish dub, and it was interesting just seeing how it sounds in those languages. And then for some that I had only watched in Spanish, then going to watch it in English was very interesting. As an example, I don't know if anybody knows this anime. It's a sport one called The Prince of Tennis. I watched most of it when I was a kid. I think there's been more seasons of it come out in recent years, but I remember watching what they had as a kid, and this is one of those anime that I never watched the English dub until I was older and I wanted to rewatch the series. Like that whole series, I watched it in the Spanish dub, and I liked it. It was a really good dub. The English dub is also great, but that was one of those that like the Spanish dub was pretty good. And I don't know which version I like more, because like the English dub has some voice actors that I really like, but the Spanish dub eventually grew on me, and so I don't know which version I like more. Jordan says, oh, I guess this was part of the other comment, basically saying that she describes her outfits in her podcast, and it's called Country Cartoon because she's a singer, and I guess country other than just acting. I'm okay, gotcha. Jordan says, well, I like it, Joker, because she's a huge voice actress. I talked to her on Instagram, and the fact that she does it is a huge win for us. No, I mean, that's really cool. Although, I don't know how big of an actress, like, you can really, call her, because it depends on what she's been in, and if, I would have to look into what other things she's done, because if the only thing she's been on is on just one show, I wouldn't call that being a huge actress or even a huge voice actress. But I don't know what she's been on. I don't even know she did Scooby-Doo in the first place, so that would be cool to know, to see other things she's been in. And to be honest, I hadn't noticed over the years if Daphne's voice actress has changed or not, because I think they have had different actors for those characters over the years, but all of them, to me, but, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen Scooby-Doo, and at least for the ones that they would do when they were teens, like, they all kind of sounded the same to me, so I would have to see. The only time that they sounded different is when they did the baby Scooby-Doo series, like, of it, where they were all, like, really little kids, and they were, like, so cute. I remember watching that one a lot, and it was cute. Okay, cool. Sure, no problem. Don't be a stranger. Let me make sure that was the last comment. Oh, and this thing stopped talking. Lovely. I've been testing iOS 18 beta on my iPad, like the developer beta. And so, because it's still the first beta, even though it's pretty stable, there's obviously several bugs and stuff. And so sometimes I lose voiceover speed, so that's an easy fix. I just have to turn it on, turn it off. That's what happened when I said, like, oh great, I lost speech. Here we go. Okay, then I'm gonna open that again. I guess that's all the comments for now. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't consider, but then again, I don't know if what other roles that actress has had, but if your only, like, big breakout was just on one show, I wouldn't consider that, like, a really famous, actor or, like, somebody that was big. But then again, I've never heard this name before, so I don't know how big she is. Let me close this here. And close that. But yeah, oh, another anime that third season is airing that's, like, really good and has a bunch of characters that are, like, important to the story that I can never remember to, like, make a full, like, review, but it's a really good one. It's The Regular Magic High School. That's another really good one that I've been watching. Although I'm watching it mostly for the story and the characters, because there's a dynamic between the main character and his sister, because there's a relationship she wants to have with her brother that it's not a relationship that siblings would have or usually have, and it just rubs me the wrong way, because why? Like, she's a really beautiful young girl. There's been other guys who have shown interest in her, but she's more interested in her older brother, which I've never understood incest in anime. It's somewhat popular. Some people ship it. I kind of grew out of that. Like, there was one time that I did, and there was a time where I had a ship that I really like, and I didn't realize they were siblings. So, well, that kind of had me going like, what? No! But, I just really don't understand it. Some ships are just really weird, and I mean it's fandom and fiction. So at the end of the day, you can like whatever you like. It's just personally, I just don't get it when I see it. But yeah. I don't know. There's just so many. There's so many good shows to watch out there that sometimes I wanna like record a review, but then I sit in my bed and I look at my phone and I'm like, is there anything that I've watched that I want to rewatch? Because if it's something new that I haven't watched, I tend to watch it first for my own enjoyment of it, and then if I think it'll be a good watch, I will rewatch it and pay more attention to it, because this time I will be reviewing it. And I guess I've grown a little bit more picky, because there was one that I did a review. I don't know how to blame on the name or something. not remembering that, but I know it's in the channel. And the story sounded interesting, and I thought it was gonna be a good watch. And then I got to the ending, and I was like, wow, I don't normally feel disappointed by an anime's ending nowadays, but that one really let me down. I was like, wow, it's been years since I felt that an ending of an anime was like meh or blah or like this is bad. And that's what that ending had me feel. It had me really disappointed because like I thought more was gonna happen by the end, and I was like, this makes no sense to me. Why have the main goal of the protagonist is revenge to only reference that at the beginning, and then when we're like getting to almost halfway to the story and then just not mention it again and then focus on other characters, I was like, I was interested in the revenge part of the protagonist because I don't normally get anime where the protagonist has the you know, hatred in their heart strong enough to like wanting revenge. And sometimes revenge stories are satisfying, so I wanted to watch it, and I was like, oh, this was meh. I don't know, I just like when that happens. That's why I really enjoyed watching The Rising of the Shield Hero, even though a lot more ends up happening later. But I remember when I first got into that series, the appeal of it was the fact that, like, yeah, he's typical, like, naive and optimistic and, like, positive guy in the beginning, but then really quickly, because he's framed for something he didn't do, he's kind of like, okay, fuck these people. If they want me to save them, then it's gonna be in my terms. They're going to have to pay up something or, like, pay me for my services. And then the fact that he basically was like, I'm gonna treat these people the way that they treated me, and eventually I'll get payback on these people. I will have my vengeance. And I was like, I like this type of story sometimes, but I don't know. If it's not done well, and it gets leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Let me see. Hello, Logic Pro 10 Gaming. It says good evening. Yeah, good evening. Hello. Wow. I've seen you a lot on Twitter. Yeah, I think I've seen some of your videos. Oh my god. Hi. I've seen you talk a lot about I think it's been Minecraft and accessibility in Minecraft, and it's been really interesting reading about that. But yeah, thank you for stopping by and stumbling on this. This is more of just, I just wanted to chat with people to get back into the hang of it. I took a bit of a break because of feeling ill and not being really in the mood at the time, so I had to take a bit of a break, and now I'm trying to get back into the swing of a schedule and content creation, and they really had a lot to, like, make a video, so I thought, you know what, a stream will be my first comeback, and then later this week I'll try and get some content in whatever form it ends up being, and this gets me back into the flow of doing things and getting back into my regularly scheduled program. Sorry, I'm chaotic. I don't normally have like, you know, I guess a script or like plan unless I had a bit of, like bullet points or something a little bit more organized. So I wing it and I'm chaotic and I'm all over the place. Logic Pro 10 Gaming says I found you on Twitter just oh cool. Yeah, I've been hanging out on Twitter from time to time. I try not to spend a lot of time on social media, but Twitter sometimes like grips me if I'm really really bored and I see some things I may like. Sometimes I will see people reposting like drawings or things about Kingdom Hearts. But sometimes I like seeing what's new with accessibility and video games since I know there's a long way to go with that genre and there there being accessibility for us to be able to play the games. Because I know there's a lot of us that want to be able to play games, but yeah. Here we go. Oh shit. I almost hit my microphone. Way to go, me. Okay, I can save for a little bit more. But no, I'm still just learning in terms of streaming and my content creation. For the regulars that come in to watch or just people have been watching me, I haven't been doing YouTube for long. I think now it's been 2 years now, something like that. So, or almost 2 years, and I'm still learning. I'm still figuring out how things work, what I can do to improve, and all that. And just in general. But this is fun. I like doing it. I may not be the greatest when it comes to knowing how equipment works or tech, but I do my best. Although sometimes hago locuras, but that's just me. And I mean, I guess being a little bit different pays off in this sphere since there's a lot of content creators and a lot of people just wanting to do their own thing in here and just wanting to have their own fun. But yeah, I'm thinking of only being here for like a little bit longer and then probably ending it for now. But let me see, what time is it? 2013. Yeah, I can stay for a little bit longer. Let me see. But yeah, I want to get into more games, but it's been a little bit harder, especially since there have been more changes in my vision. And not only at the yearly checkup that I kind of noticed it, or at least, they're always checking for that. There's been things in my daily life that has sort of let me see that there have been some drastic changes, but I mean, I'm getting older. I'm now in my late 20s. Next year I'll be entering into my early 30s, so that'll be fun. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm getting older. Yeah. I'm entering the last number of my 20s this year, like 29. Yeah, baby. Next year I start into my journey of my 30s. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be so much fun. Although, we'll see. We'll see what new adventures and what things I get up to, but that is definitely gonna be fun. And I don't know. I don't feel much older. Well, except when I hurt myself or accidents happen, and then I see that I'm not built as easily as I was before, or it takes me a little bit longer to get better if I hurt myself. Yeah, I'm very accidental prone, and sometimes I don't even mean to do half the stuff I do, but it happens. And I'm surprised that I haven't done things worse than what I have to, like, really land me in, like, a hospital, which, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful. It baffles me because I'm really clumsy. And I mean, it could be worse, but at least so far, I've only done things to, like, hurt myself really badly and twist a body part or hurt the muscles. But I'm surprised that I haven't really broken a bone, because I've done things to myself over the years. When I was in the 6th grade, I fell from bleachers. Like, I slipped and then I rolled down the bleachers, and I have no explanation on how I didn't really break anything. Part of my body hurt for a while, but that was it. I didn't do a lot of, like, dangerous stuff as a kid. Like, yeah, I was very adventurous, and, like, I did end up with, like, bruises, but I don't know. I was cautious in some things, and there were some things I would see my brother and some of the other kids do that it seemed fun, but at the same time, my mentality was, looks fun, but also dangerous. You know what? I'm gonna stay where it's safe and just laugh at you if you hurt yourself, or if you do something stupid. I know, I'm bad for saying that, but come on, when you're a kid, it's kind of the truth. You're not really worrying about, like, oh, should I go call an adult if they, unless, they're in, like, intense, excruciating pain, and maybe the person can't move or can't get up, like your initial reaction is probably gonna be laughing, and you make fun of the person or people. And I mean, it was my brother. I'm pretty sure if I did something similar, his reaction would be the same. I mean, he had fun watching me struggle trying to grab one of those translucent slip log bags, and he watched me just trying to grab it because it kept like moving and like slipping from my hands, and he laughed. He had fun. He had fun watching me struggle with that. So we have the same mentality. I know, but I mean, it's what siblings do. Sometimes we like to mess with each other like that. Let me see. Okay, let me see the time of yeah. I think with that, I'm gonna be ending the show. Thank you so much, everybody that came and watched me just have a chat with just everybody and just talking to you guys, just mentioning things I like, and just chatting about who knows what, sharing my favorite anime, having a bit of a talk with you guys to chat, and just me rambling, sharing more stories. But yeah, thank you so much for just being on this ride, and I hope to see anybody on any other future stream or videos that I may upload. Like it, share it on any of your socials or whatever social media you may have. And if you want to follow me in other areas other than here on YouTube, if you're not subscribed, you can find me on the usuals, Twitter, that's at Joker_Alice72. The other day I realized I was saying that wrong. Apparently there's an underscore in that username for Twitter. The things I learned. I don't post a lot on Instagram either, but if you're there and you want to give me a follow, it's Joker_Alice. Those who like reading, you know, I have an ongoing fan fiction on Archive of Our Own. You can find me there, Joker_Alice, and then there's Wattpad, which basically has the same fan fictions, except for maybe one, and that's Joker_Alice2. And with that, I'm going to be going. I hope everybody has a great night. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I will catch you some other time.